Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. This is the last episode, episode 12 of my HelloFresh review series. The meal that we're making today is cherry balsamic pork chops, which kind of reminds me of the first episode that we did, the figgy balsamic pork. This video is going to be two parts. So the first part is going to be, prepping, cooking, tasting, reviewing the meal. And then the second part is going to be my overall review of the entire experience. Let's get started with the unboxing. So first we have the pork chops. There's 2 per pack. And then in the bag we've got the 2 packs of green beans, 2 shallots, a bunch of potatoes. Then we have 2 packs of cherry jam. And then, let me read these right, because the last time they were 2 different ones. These are both balsamic vinegar. Last but not least, dried thyme. So first and foremost, we're going to do the prepping of the veggies. We're going to wash both of these vegetables. And then for the potatoes, I'm not going to peel them, but I'm going to cut them in wedges because we're going to roast them with the thyme. So I'll be right back. The potatoes are washed and wedged. So now we're going to drizzle them with some oil, salt, pepper, and the thyme. Mix it all up. Put them in the roasting pan. These are going to go in the oven at 450 degrees on the middle rack. We're going to put them in for 13 minutes, take them out, turn them, and then put them back in for an additional 12 or until golden brown. All right, next step is to make the pork. So we're going to pat it dry, season with salt and pepper. No, I'm lying. These guys. God, my eyes. The next step is the pork. We're going to pat these dry. We're going to season them with salt and pepper. And then we're going to cook them on medium-high heat for 4 to 6 minutes per side until golden brown. Hi, little bear. Time for the oil. Salt and pepper. Excuse me. Little bear. All right, I'm going to put these to cook and I'll be right back. All right, so now that the pork chops are cooking, we're going to get together the green beans. Okay. So again, you're going to do the same thing with the oil. Salt for seasoning, pepper. And then mix it up. When you take the potatoes out so you can turn them, that's when you're going to put these in on the top rack and you're going to let them cook together for the last 12 minutes. That way they come out together. Okay guys, the pork chops are ready. So I put them in a little Tupperware to keep them warm because now we're going to work on the balsamic cherry glaze. So it says to heat some oil in the same pan that we cooked the pork in. And we're going to add the sliced shallots. So we're going to cook these until they're lightly browned. Probably about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so now that the shallots are nice and browned, we're gonna add both little bottles of vinegar. These are so cute. I love these. And we're gonna cook this for about 60 seconds and let it simmer. Okay. That's the potatoes and the green beans. Mix this up. Okay, now we're gonna add half a cup of water and this cherry jam. Now that the cherry jam is added with the water, we're gonna mix it all up. We're gonna cook this for 3 to 5 minutes until it's thickened a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna season with salt and pepper and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Incorporate all of that, mix it really well. Turn off the heat and add 2 tablespoons of, of butter. Melt that down. Okay. Now that the sauce is done, I'm gonna add the pork back. I'm gonna put the pork back into the pan, and I'm gonna make sure one side is coated, then I'm gonna flip it to coat the other side. And that's it. Just move it around, turn it, get it all covered in sauce. Get them shallots up in here. Okay, so now it's time to plate this. Once we plate it, I'm gonna add some more of the sauce on top of the pork chops. And we'll get the show on the road with the tasting. Okay, and it's time for the tasting. So this took 10 minutes prep, 30 minutes total cook time, and it's 640 calories. Well, let's dig in. I hate it all. Hate's a strong word. I don't hate it. It's probably my fault. It's pretty bland, but I thought the same thing of the first one too. The pork is pretty juicy. The sauce doesn't really do anything for it. It's got a slight vinegar taste to it, but very slight. Like, this is a basic ass dish. Now I'm gonna eat it because I'm hungry, but I probably wouldn't pick this again if I had to change a meal. The green beans I don't like, but I don't like these kinds of green beans. The potatoes are okay. They could have used a little bit more salt. Like I said, my fault. I give this one a 6 out of 10. No, not even. Like a 4 out of 10. The thyme comes through really well with the potatoes, but it is lacking that saltiness. Sauce doesn't do anything for the potatoes either. Oh well. It was pretty quick, so who cares? Okay. So that's it for the first part of the video. I'm gonna get the boys ready. We're gonna finish off this dinner, which I'm almost done with anyway. And then I'll come back to do my full review of the entire experience. Stay tuned, guys. All right, so here we are for part 2 of the final episode on HelloFresh. I know what you guys are here for. Is it worth it or not? Well, let's go over the pros and cons really quickly, and then I'll tell you what I think. So the pros. Pro number 1, most ingredients are delivered. The only thing that wasn't delivered was any oils, butter, salt, pepper, basic things like that you should have in your fridge or your pantry anyway, so you can supplement. I think it was really cool that all of the ingredients got delivered versus me having to go to the store and possibly forgetting something on my way out. All right, point number 2. Most of the meals that I worked on had a quick cook time. Some of them were long, but I think it was only like 1 or 2 that were 45 to an hour long, so that's cool. Point number 3, there are a variety of meals to select from. I really like that I could go in there and switch out any meal for, you know, whatever else I wanted to try. Number 4, good portion size. I usually had leftovers for lunch, which I like because I do meal prep. So, you know, if the food is over at dinner time, I'm kind of screwed for lunchtime. So I really like that. Point number 5. This one is actually, it's actually both a pro and a con. So pro, leftover ingredients, con, leftover ingredients. Pro because in case I want to use them later, I don't have to go back to the store and get some more. I already have whatever's in there. Con, because if I don't use them, they're going to spoil and it's a waste of food, so that sucks. 6 was it is cost effective on the off of a discount compared to fast food. But I'm not done, so hold on. Number 7, HelloFresh offered the Calorie Smart option, which is perfect for me and what I was looking for. I mean, my family didn't like it that much, but whatever, I cook, so eat it or don't. All right, so moving on to the cons. Con number 1 was the leftover ingredients. We talked about that. Number 2, some meals took too long to make, like the gosh darn risotto. I wanted to die. Just stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring forever. And it sucked. Okay, moving on. Number 3, I really think that HelloFresh called for too much salt. So in the future, if I were to go back to ordering HelloFresh, I think I'm gonna minimize the amount of salt I use. I ended up waking up swollen some mornings because it was just, you know, over the top. All right, number 4, I think they also call for too much oil. I said in one of the videos that I normally don't cook with oil, like on a regular day, but HelloFresh for every recipe was oil this, oil that, put oil here, oil there, and that's just, I mean, it's just too much. Okay, last but not least, the recipe card had 2 plans combined, which I absolutely hated. So it gave you the recipe for both the 2 servings and the 4 servings. But at the very bottom of each step, it would give you the step for the 4 servings, which sucks because if you're going step like line by line trying to follow the steps, you're going to miss out until the very bottom. So it happened to me on the mushroom ravioli in reference to the kale. So it started off with, you know, put the kale in the pan and heat it, or put half of the kale in the pan and heat it, blah, blah, blah. But then at the very bottom, after I had already put the kale in the pan with the onion and the oil and it wilted, at the very bottom it said to use all the kale if you had 4 servings, which is kind of a bitch because, well, I mean, my kale's already cooked. Like, now I have all this other half fresh kale versus... So then I had to cook the kale separately on the side and then combine it with the rest. I mean, that's kind of a pain in the ass and defeats the purpose of quick. So that's all I have for the cons. Now, was it worth it or not? Hell yes, it was worth it. Also, not sponsored. I super duper duper loved HelloFresh. I loved it so much. I like that I got to try like all these different recipes that I had never tried before. I tasted food I'd never tasted before. It's super awesome. I love that they were on time. Every Saturday I got my box without fail. Everything was nice and cold, frozen even. It's very, very, very convenient for me. And I also wanted to point out about, I don't know if you guys know, recipe fatigue. It's kind of like, it's something I made up, but I don't know if it's already been made up, whatever. But it's kind of like flavor fatigue, right? So if you eat the same thing over and over and you get tired of it, it's called flavor fatigue. Well, I get recipe fatigue, right? So I run out of shit to make and I have to Google it on the internet or whatever. With HelloFresh, it gives you a new recipe every single time. And then if you get the same one, you can just go into the little app, super convenient, by the way, or super, not convenient, but user-friendly. Go into the app, replace the meal, and boom, 3 brand new ones. Super cool. Obviously, I super love it. I totally recommend it. The pricing is amazing. Okay, so the what did I get? I got the 4 servings 3 times a week. It turned out, without the discount, it turned out to be 98 bucks a week. Think about how much you're spending to feed 3 people fast food or ordering delivery from Uber Eats. Blah, blah, blah. Think about how much money you're spending, or start calculating how much you're going to be spending to feed 3 people 3 times a day off of Uber Eats. It's a shitload. 98 bucks for 3 meals for 4 people. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. Well, so far anyway. But yeah, I'm super animated because I super loved it, and I think that once I do finish my journey of like trying all these different meal services, that would definitely be the #1 contender for what I'm gonna stick with overall. But yeah, that's the end of my review. I hope you guys liked all of my videos for HelloFresh. I enjoyed making them. I know I look tired in most of them, but I mean, I have long days, and I'm sorry, I'm not as bubbly as most people. Next week, or not next week, but next episode, we're gonna be trying Home Chef. So let's see if that one, I mean, HelloFresh kind of set the bar pretty high, so I'm kind of skeptical as far as which one is gonna get up there, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to enter into this without a biased opinion. Hopefully y'all can do the same. But yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. I look forward to any comments. If I missed anything that you guys want to know about in regards to my HelloFresh experience, leave a comment or DM me on Instagram. I put my Instagram in the description below. And I will definitely see you guys for the next episode for Home Chef. Toodaloo.